200 years. Students, yes. See, in the ancient time, India was very rich country and it was known as golden bird, Sone ki chidiya. Clear students? Sone ki chidiya. Now, and the foreign countries, they were attracted with the wealth of India. The Europeans were attracted by the great wealth of India. It's not only the Europeans, Portuguese, Spanish, French, all these people came with a business purpose. They earned good profits trading with India. They got much benefit while they had a business with India. In 1953, the Arabs closed the route to India in order to monopolize trade and sell Indian goods at high price in Europe. This forced the European countries to search for another route to reach India. So, so this was the reason that Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, discovered the sea route to India. Students, you can underline this. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese man from Portugal country, discovered the sea route to India via Africa in 1498. So, in which year the sea route was discovered? In 1498. This discovery paved the way for the European traders to start trading activities with India. And with this route, these European countries were able to have the business with India. Now you can see the countries on the world map. Students, this is the world map. Different countries with their different maps. See, you can see in which continent India comes under the Asia continent. Yes, students. See, we have studied about the continents. है ना? 7 continents are there, students. You can see on this world map 7 continents. This North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Australia. And we have the one more, the icy continent, that is Australia. Yes. In time, the Portuguese traders saw that India, despite its large size, was divided into many small and weak states that were always fighting with one another. The Portuguese traders, being shrewd, decided to establish trading monopoly in India by exploiting this lack of unity to their benefit. Now, so they thought that Indians are not united, so they should take the advantage of this disunity. And after the Portuguese, the Dutch of Holland, French of France, the British also landed on the Indian shores. Shores yani sea coast. Many other countries also came to India with a business purpose. They all wanted to do business with India. Now, and among them, British proved to be very successful. A few British merchants formed a trading company called the British East India Company. Yes, trading company matlab business company of British people, European people was called as the British East India Company. By this company, they were doing business with India. Clear, students? In 1600 AD. So, this British came to India in 1600 AD only. Emperor Jahangir granted permission to the company to establish trading centers in India. Yes. At that time, when British came to India, Mughals were ruling over India. So Jahangir was ruling and he gave the permission. Yes, they can open that trading company in India. The East India Company established permanent trading centers in Bombay, Madras. Clear? So they established their trading centers in Bombay and Chennai, Mumbai, Madras. After the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, the British and the French began to fight for control over India. Yes. Now after the death of Aurangzeb, Aurangzeb was also Mughal ruler. So there was no powerful king to rule over India. Dear students, after the death of Aurangzeb, There was not a powerful king who can rule over complete India. So the British and the French people took the advantage of this, that now they can have control over India. Their warfare continued for 50 years, lasting until supremacy 1757. And they both were British and French. They fought among themselves for the 50 years. Okay, who could have the supremacy, who could have the control over India. And in 1757, the Battle of Plassey was found. The British East India Company finally emerged victorious in the tussle for power. The French were limited to Pondicherry. It is now presently Puducherry. Yes. And among these, the French were lost. And the British were conquered. So French were ruling over only Pondicherry and the British started conquering the most parts of India. To maintain their monopoly in India, the East India Company quickly turned in their trading centers into forts. They started to keep armies to protect their trading wars. Now, with us, as British gained the monopoly and they captured some places, they started to keep their armies to protect their trading warfares and captured many forts of India. Nawab Sirajuddaula of Bengal did not like this and fought the British in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. Yes, Nawab Sirajuddaula was not ready that British should open the trading centers in West Bengal, but he was but he has to fight a Battle of Plassey in 1757. He was, however, defeated in the battle by the British army led by Robert Clive. But in this battle, Sirajuddaula was defeated through British. Robert Clive fought with the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam in the Battle of Buxar. The British were victorious in this battle as well as. See, two battles were fought. First was the Battle of Plassey, 1757. Students, you can underline. And next was the Battle of Buxar. In this also, the Mughals were defeated. The British were victorious in this battle as well as. After these battles, Bengal, a rich province in those days, was taken over by the Company Sarkar along with Bihar, Odisha. Dear students, so after the Battle of Buxar, many other places were directly under the British control. The strength of British grew and they became powerful force in India in a short time. Now, their strength was increasing because as many parts of India were coming under the British, so that ruling party was under the British now. Small princely states ruled by the Nawabs and Maharajas regularly took the help of company to win their petty wars with one another. The company took advantage of them and slowly annexed more and more Indian territories. Now, the Indians were not powerful and there was no great leader who could guide them. So, the British company took advantage of this and established their power in many parts of India. Students and Indians were disunited. Now, the revolt of 18 after 100 years. See, the Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757. So till the 100 years, Indians were struggling with the British to get free from the British rule. In those days, the British East India Company was called the Company Sarkar. Yes, British East India Company. You know this? British East India Company was established to have the trades with India. But what British did along with the trade, they started ruling over Indian some parts. The plight of the Indian under the British grew from bad to worse as the British levied heavy taxes on the Indians, forced weavers to sell their clothes to them, and compelled farmers to cultivate indigo as they could see use it to dye the cloth in Britain. Now, as British started control over India, they were very plight condition of Indians. British asked them to grow indigo also, and they were asking to view the clothes for only the Britishers, and they were not getting the actual price of their goods also. Now, many Indians industries and crafts were closed down under the order of British East India Company. A wave of discontentment and unrest blew over India. Now, many industries of India were closed because of the British order. And now, a wave of discontent because all over India people were unhappy with the British. They were only have to suffer the tortures and harassment from the British ruler. The British had become rulers of India. Lord Dalhousie, who became the Governor General in 1848, aggravated the matters further by introducing more chance in the company Sarkar, which made the people of India agitated. Yes. Now, what they were thinking is this British Sarkar, the Governor General Lord Dalhousie, will take care of the Indian people. But in reality, they were not. They were only interested in their money making students, only to earn the profit from Indian spices and that thing. So the condition of Indian people was becoming day by day very worse. In 1857, the Indians rose up against the British. So after 100 years of their torture and harassment, in 1857, Indians rose up to fight against the British. They all decided. So this was the first war of independence. Dear students, which was the first war of independence? The revolt of 1857. This revolt is also called the revolt of 1857 or the Sepoy Mutiny. The British had recruited many Indian soldiers into their army. Yes. And how the British had become powerful? By making Indian soldiers only in their army. And there were Indians who were fighting against the Indians only. These soldiers saw that the British ill-treated Indians. Angered by such behavior of British, they revolted against the British ruler. Now, some soldiers who were in the British army understood this. Okay, now British they are ruling and controlling over Indians and misbehavior for their country. Among these, Mangal Pandey started the revolt at Meerut near Delhi by firing the first shot on March 29, 1857. The revolt spread over large parts of northern and central India. Now, the Indian soldiers marched to Delhi, where they declared Bahadur Shah II, the Mughal emperor, as their emperor. The leaders who supported their revolt in different parts of India included Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, Nana Sahib, Tatya Tope, Begum Hazrat Mahal, and Maulvi Ahmed Shah of Oudh. So these were the people, leaders who came forward and they marched towards the Delhi to gain that. Okay, Bahadur Shah Zafar. They made Bahadur Shah Zafar as the leader and the Mughal emperor. And different leaders in different parts of the country. Which were the different leaders who came forward? They were Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. You all know about Rani Lakshmibai. Nana Sahib, Tatya Tope, Begum Hazrat Mahal, Maulvi Ahmed Shah Fort. These were the people who fought against the British with the Indian soldiers, students. And among these, the Mangal Pandey was also there. And why these people were discontent, unhappy with the British rule? See, well, one reason was about the cartridge. Clear, students? That cartridge means a small portion was there on the gun. A British introduced a rifle called Enfield rifle, and the cartridges were believed to be greased with the animal fat. This hurt the religious sentiments of the Indian soldiers. They protested. Now, see, students, see, there were many reasons political, social, economical, but one of that reason was that they have to beat this cartridge. And what was there in this cartridge? See, it was there cow's fat and pig's fat both were used. And see, Hindus consider cow as holy, and it was not possible for Hindus to touch that fat of cow with the mouth. Same way, Muslims consider pig as unholy. So, so why they will touch the that cartridge was made of greased with the fat of pig and cow. So both the communities, Hindu and Muslim, were hurted by the religious sentiments of Indian soldiers. So they refused to buy this gun, and because of that, the revolt broke out, and they protested also. So the revolt spread like a wildfire, shocked the British. All the Indian leaders fought with a bravely, but were defeated. After this mutiny, the British rulers realized that they could not hold unto India. So after this mutiny, the British rulers realized that they could not hold on to India with the Company Sarkar. So India was made in British king and queen. So India was made a subject, and Queen of Victoria of England was declared the Empress of India. Now, this revolt of 1857 also got failed because it was there were many misconceptions. It was and not the reason was it was not started at the fixed time also. So now, the Queen Victoria of England was made as the Empress of India, and she was directly ruling the India. The revolt of 1857 started the chapter of India's struggle for freedom. Now, with this revolt of 1857, the Indian struggle moved. It was started for the Indians now. All Indians, whether farmers, traders, businessmen, normal people of India, all they joined the struggle movement. They were ready to give the life for the India's struggle movement. So Rani Lakshmibai was there, Nana Sahib, Tatya Tope, Begum Hazrat Mahal. All these people came forward to rule over, to fight for the British, to make India free from the clutches of British rule, students. Now, national revival of India. Many changes such as the study of English language, opening of revival means social reformers, opening of mills, introduction of telegraph, postal system were introduced by the British in India. Under the early rule of the British Crown, all these changes educated and united the Indians in their struggle for freedom. Yes, see, many reformer work also started. It was this English education which we are studying today was brought by the British people only. They also started railways in India, postal service, telegraph service. This was started by the British only. And this system paved way to the Indian struggle movement. All these changes educated and united the Indians in their struggle for freedom. The British continued to be unfair to the Indians. Yes, still British were unfair means not good with the Indians. They did not give equal opportunities to them. Yes, though Indians were educated, but Indian people were not given higher posts, official posts. They were only given the post of subedars. They were ill treated. They were not given equality. The unequal treatment meted out to the Indians led to national awakening in the country. Great social and religious reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Swami Vivekanand, Syed Ahmad Khan, Dayanand Saraswati, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, these all great people showed the seeds of national reform. This helped the people of India unite and led to the formation of Indian National Congress. Yes, and because of this ill treatment of the British and good steps of a national leader, the National Congress was formed. Now, among this, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, he was from the Bengal and he gave up his job with the East India Company and formed an association of English and Hindu teachers in 1815. Yes, he was serving, but he gave the British job. He also founded the Amatya Sabha in 1815. He put in the efforts to abolish the practice of sati. In 1828, he founded the Brahmo Samaj. Yes, in 1828, Rajaram Mohan Rai founded the Brahmo Samaj. He was a social reformer, students. He came forward to stop the practice of sati. I hope you all know about sati. Sati means when the king died, the woman had to burn herself on the pyre of her husband's. So, to stop this thing, Raja Ram Mohan Rai came forward. Now, students, I'll stop here.